What is up, guys? Titan here, and today I want to talk about the latest community crunch, which is 150. Holy shit, that's actually a lot. And they're gonna be talking about new Conquest servers. I don't know what to really think of this. I've given this a read. I'm just quickly skim through it with you guys. By the way, this picture looks nice. Really looks nice. You can definitely tell that this was all set up, but it looks nice. But I actually wonder if there's any significance behind this picture, besides the um I guess the deeper meaning of it of like bigger and better, I guess. Because the goal of these new conquest servers is to bring bigger tribes and influence bigger tribe battles. And what I mean by greater significance of this picture is why are they surrounding this little pool of water? I don't know, just something cool to think about. I mean, does this even go down any deep? I haven't been in this spot before. Anyways, here's the post. It's pretty short. Holy, it's pretty short. It's about that long. And then here's just the Arc Digest, which is a little Q&A. They sort of skip past a lot of questions, but of course your questions kind of need to be unique in order for them to give an answer. You know, if it's something that someone's asked in the last month or something, they're not gonna repeat themselves. But yeah, so here's a post that says, "Today we have some exciting news to bring our PvP official players. We're introducing a new server cluster called Conquest. In contrast to our successful six-man tribe servers, Conquest will focus on big tribes and big battles. In order to fuel this large-scale fight, these servers have 2 times rates compared to other official servers, unaffected by the evolution event. This will allow tribes to build up faster, gain experience faster, and tame creatures faster. Focusing more time directly on battling other tribes, the servers will also be capped at 100 players per server instead of 70. Server transfers will be enabled between servers within the cluster. There will be 36 total servers within the cluster." And then they just go on about when it'll be released on PC, which will be this Friday on the 28th, and it'll eventually make its way to console in a later date. But yeah, I'm not exactly too sure what to think of this. So it says in the very beginning, in contrast to our successful six-man tribe servers. So let's just talk about some of the problems with six-man. So when people wanted a server or mode, I guess, or type of server, I mean, where it was just small and it wasn't huge alpha tribes or mega tribes, they weren't really expecting six men. They were more expecting 10 men or 20 men, because even for 2 times rates or what is it, 3 times on six men, like you still need a lot of people to keep a base up, especially if you have an end game base. And on top of that, if you want to take over another base, there's just certain maps, not even maps. There's certain positions on maps, certain chokes that are gonna require to have a lot more players, to sort of overcome. Like for example, the meta, the meta on six mans is to just basically live in a cave, because if you're caught raiding that cave with more than 6 players, you're gonna get banned and dev wiped. So you're forced to raid a cave with only 6 players, and you have to rock and run or blow up a bunch of turret walls. And in good server ping, that's close to impossible. A method that's actually used on the main official servers is to actually ask people to join and slot cap the server. In doing so, the server ping will increase, and when the server ping increases, turrets will have a harder time trying to track you and shoot you. Also, sorry if I sound kind of weird. I'm still kind of sick. But in a game like Ark, lag is pretty much your best friend when trying to overthrow a lot of challenges. Pretty much, if someone pulled up to your base with a Giga, you'd get fucked instantly. But if the server was really lagging, a lot of people who've actually played on official PvP clusters would actually know what I'm talking about. But when the server lags, Gigas pretty much don't do any damage sometimes. 1 out of 5 bytes would actually register. What was that noise? I don't know if the recording caught that. It might be from the site. Pretty sure it's from the site. But pretty much 6 players just wasn't enough, and that was one of the biggest problems with 6 man. So with 6 players not being enough to basically, I guess, raid and sort of, I don't want to say farm because it honestly only takes 2 players to farm up an entire base. Like believe it or not, it on main official servers, especially in mega tribes, it's usually only like 2 players or 4 players that would farm like a tribe's worth of resources within like a day or two, and an entire tribe is really grateful to those players. But I kind of wanted to say that 6 players isn't enough to really prevent offline raiding. 10 players maybe, but 6 players definitely not. Like there's going to be some time of an off time. On top of that, if you are from different time zones, it's a little like worse because then some days you're gonna log on and just find yourself being the only one logged into your tribe. And of course, you could solo farm, but it's just not efficient, and that's one of the things that really demotivate people to play. Basically, not being able to play with others, whether it be time zones or IRL stuff being cut in. But with 6 man, it was just the pure fact of not being able to play with I don't want to say whoever you want, just not being able to play with the amount of people that you want, I guess. Because the people that you are tied down to, which would be the 5 other people in your tribe, you basically gotta rely on them to log in and to play with and just have fun. Another problem with 6 man was teaming. At the beginning of 6 man's, uh, it was just no teaming period. But after, actually, before I go more into that rule, one thing we gotta understand is that I believe 6 man came like in the middle of summer or like early summer, and it was even said in one of the posts that for about 60 days the servers will be in a trial period, meaning stuff like rules, code of conduct, and how Wildcard want these servers to even be set up to begin with. Um, it's all being tested. It's all being changed. Nothing's really official yet. And so the rule was no teaming period. But as time gone on, players needed to know what teaming was exactly. Like there was players who were complaining about one tribe giving another tribe fiber. There was players kind of like bitching about that. They're calling teaming on that. I mean, I guess technically it is teaming, but the thing is, it's like harmless teaming. The only reason why teaming is even like a rule, the only reason why you're not allowed to team, is because it's not really unfair. It's more of I don't know how to really explain it. So if you're an alpha tribe and you had 2 betas on server, if a beta wanted to overthrow you, you would want a nice clean 1v1. But if the other beta decided to team up with the first beta that was attacking the alpha, then it all of a sudden it turns into a 2v1. And it's kind of like it kind of goes back to like the whole like no honor thing, and just not really scummy, but just kind of demotivates players knowing that you're outnumbered and whatever. That's kind of one of the reasons why no teaming um, was a really like wanted rule, because on main officials it was literally like a mega tribe versus like a 3 man Bob tribe. It was a tribe full of like 200 players versus a tribe full of 3 players. Which once that Bob tribe was wiped, they probably just stopped playing Arc and went back to like CS:GO or something. And of course that's bad because that means that it's just 3 less players playing the game. Now at the moment we don't really have that much information about Conquest servers. All we know is that servers will be able to hold 100 players, and there'll be a constant 2 times rate. I'm guessing for everything uh, like breeding, harvesting, and XP. If tribes are going to be 10 to 20 players, then 100 slots at a server probably isn't enough, especially for the initial release for these games. Because when they first release, it's pretty much a fair fight. It's not going to be someone on a Giga that's going to be strolling on the beach that just chomps on your Bob hut. I mean, who knows? Maybe like the first day, someone like actually commits raw meat taming a level 5 Giga. It happens. But pretty much it's just going to be Bob versus Bob warfare, and because of that, more players are actually going to be motivated to play, and people won't really play unless they have, I want to say, optimized numbers. So let's say that the cap for a tribe is 20 players. A tribe might not want to even start playing until they've gathered at least 15 players. Meaning, first day, these servers are going to be capped. These servers are going to have large tribes on the first day. They're gonna have large like Bob tribes, and because they're Bob tribes, they're gonna be really motivated to play, and they're gonna continuously play for hours on end. Which is a good thing for wildcard because this is something that's gonna bring players to play the game more. But the thing about big tribes is that they can advance really easily, meaning within like the first couple days, let's say 3 days later, you might actually see bases with auto turrets and people actually raiding Bobs and stuff. Another thing is too, if they were to make this differ from six mans, then that means that teaming will be allowed. And if teaming was allowed, then we're gonna see mega tribes teaming up, whether it be for the PvE aspect of the game or the PvP aspect of the game. Teaming will happen, even if it like is a rule too. I've met a couple people like who aren't even in mega tribes. Like every now and then I take breaks and I maybe play like unofficial for like 3 days, maybe like a weekend or something, and I just meet new people and I chill and talk to them. And when I see a couple people launching Arc, I'm like, hey, who is this? And I view their game info and I see that they're playing small tribes. And I just ask them what's up, what are you up to now and whatever. And they tell me things about what they've done, what other people have done, and it's kind of sad to hear that they're not really ashamed of doing what they've done. I mean, it's not like they're cheating or meshing or whatever. It's just, and this is for example, it's let's say like teaming, I guess. They're not like ashamed of that, and they're not ashamed of that because it's pretty much what everybody else is doing. If you want to exist on small tribes, you kind of need to team. Otherwise, there's nothing stopping other teamers from just coming in and kind of steamrolling you, or not really steamrolling you, but harassing you constantly. It's like who cares if they came with a kit, came with some dinos, tried to soak, and then you just absolutely murked them. Because of the fact that they know that you're alone, that encourages them to just come back again. So when you see tribes not actively being griefed, it's for a reason. Now, when it comes to these new Conquest servers, I think that they'll be alright for Megatribe players, and I think for the people who want to try it out, they'll enjoy it for a while. But to be completely honest, this just looks like a move to get Megatribe players away from six mans, because six mans, like, I hear it's amazing. Um, it's basically like that low tier kind of PvP. People aren't that built up. Of course, they would be if they're kind of teaming for the majority, I guess. But I know for a fact that mega tribes do exist on six men, and they do team and whatnot. And they're not tied to like mega tribes unofficial. I mean, some are, but there's just people who are, I guess, alphas who just found each other and just decided to team. They exist, and they're actually a problem for six man servers, especially for new players that want to experience six man servers, or not even six man servers. I mean, like just like that type of server in general, because it's something new and something really different from any other Arc official servers. And so I think these big conquest servers are going to be able to pull these mega tribe players, or just these players who just have that mentality of always needing to be with the bigger team, or just always wanting that bigger fight, away from six man in order to play on conquest, and basically just have a better match, a better opponent to verse. If you want my honest opinion, Arc is pretty, I don't want to say dead, it's pretty boring on the official server side of things. Not because of how they're set up, it's just what the game has to offer, and for most players, especially after all this time, they've experienced most of these things. So the one thing that they have left, the one thing that I have left, is actually enjoying the game with the people that I play with, whether they're my enemy or not. So one last thing I wanted to add was I don't think I'll see myself playing these kind of servers, as this kind of just seems as like an attempt to pull, I don't want to call them teamers, just this is just kind of an attempt to pull those players who enjoy big battles, bigger tribes, away from six-man servers. I guess it was just kind of clear that even with the rules and limitations that six-mans give, it's kind of impossible to restrain these players. And so here we are with Conquest servers. Now, like I said, I've played six-man for like a week. I did record it. It was pretty fun, just sort of bobbing out and whatever. Most of it was, I guess, PvE, because if you're not built up, then you can't really do anything. But let me know if you guys want, like, one video of that. We got some pretty funny moments on Six Man. And to be fair, if I can actually, like, I don't know, find a group that's trying to play Conquest for the long run, then I might give it a try. But again, I'll probably only see myself playing for a week, then having to focus on other stuff, I guess, like IRL, and then there's the main official servers. And I know a bunch of you guys are just gonna say, like, fuck main officials, or, like, come on Titan, just play Conquest, or play Six Man, because that's what you guys want to see. It's just, I don't know, it's hard. You need to put a lot of time and effort. And I guess without even higher rates, it's just hard for a single person to just be dividing their efforts, I guess. I guess that's what you can say. But as usual, if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.